Desean Jackson just made one of the best hires I think he could have possibly made, and that was making Clinton Portis, the former Pro Bowler, All Pro, BCS national champion from Miami, his running back coach. What that means, how massive that is, and why I think this is so important, not just on the football perspective, too, because Clinton was gifted, was a football player extraordinaire, but why this will be massive for the young men that will come through that DSU program. I'll talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYjr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because I upload all the time. Now, Clinton Portis was just named, has been named the running backs coach for the Delaware State Hornets. Let me go ahead and go show you the graphic made on by our friend of the show, Light On Sports. Shout out to Light On College Sports. He was the first person I actually seen posted. I saw him before I even saw DSU post this. And yeah, so let's go ahead and show you the graphic, and then we'll get into the story today because this is massive. I think this is a pretty big deal. Coach Desean Jackson, Delaware State, have hired former NFL star Clinton Portis as his next running back coach. Portis was a two-time Pro Bowler and a one-time All-Pro. And it was actually Desean kind of tipped us off to this. So let me see. My Instagram has been hacked, so I don't have direct Instagram. Let me see if I can pull up an Instagram account to show you how Desean actually kind of tipped his hand and kind of let us know that this was potentially in the works. Now, let me show you. So, this was a post made a few days ago before the actual announcement of Clinton Portis was made of the guys at DSU, getting the job done. The spring guys getting ready for spring ball. Guys are working out. Guys are, across all college campuses. But this was on Desean Jackson's official Instagram account 5 days ago. So the announcement was just made in the last 24 hours. But right here on the left, you can see there's Clinton Portis in his DSU gear. And you can see this is Desean Jackson working out in the facility. This was a post, like I said, that he made, head coach Desean Jackson, that is. And he kind of was tipping his hand. He was kind of letting us know something. But of course, unless you follow Desean Jackson and really like Clinton Portis could have just been a friend supporting the program, a friend of Deshaun's coming out. This is Deshaun's first head coaching job. You didn't really know much about it. But it ended up being that Clinton Portis was named the next running backs coach. And if you don't remember how good Clinton Portis was, Clinton Portis ran a 4.26 at the combine. Clinton Portis was traded for Champ Bailey. That's how valuable he was seen by the Redskins at the time. Clinton Portis won a national championship at Miami. Clinton Portis was a first-round pick. Clinton Portis was an all-pro. Clinton Portis was offensive rookie of the year. Like, Clinton Portis was that dude. Like, he was that dude. But outside of football by itself, because he was naturally gifted. He worked hard. He played at the NFL. He scored 75 rushing touchdowns. He had almost 10,000 career rushing yards. Like, he is that dude, 80 total touchdowns in the NFL. More importantly, Clinton Portis went through a lot personally, right off the field. He was scrutinized heavily during his playing career for whether people thought it was fairly or unfairly, lack of maturity, money mismanagement, different things that happened throughout the course of his life, not just, outside of football. And I think that the football stuff speaks for itself. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he is, his resume speaks for itself as far as in the coaching ranks, coaching running back specifically. But I think also what he is going to be able to bring to that Delaware State football team as a mentor, as a guy that can help you navigate this thing called life, because this man was scrutinized at the highest level for a number of things. And a lot of times it wasn't fair, right? A lot of times it was just, and sometimes it wasn't. He was over criticized because of his talent, because of who he was, because of the money he was making, because of the fact that he was traded for one of the best players ever in Champ Bailey. And at the time it was seen as an equal trade, or some people feel like, at the time it was split. The fact that the Broncos were able to, or made that decision, or the Redskins made that decision to trade for Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey, who is Champ Bailey, Pro Football Hall of Famer Champ Bailey, that is, lets you know how talented and how he was viewed amongst the people in the NFL. But like I said, the trials and tribulations that he went through throughout his life is something that I think is invaluable, right? And the staff that Desean Jackson is building with the NFL experience, with the coaching experience, not just in like there's guys that were just players, right? Clinton Portis has never coached a day in his life, at least not that I know of, but he was a stud as a player. But then there's coaches like Nemo Washington as offense coordinator, who has coached 10 years, right? He has 10 years worth of coaching experience, including 2 of them in the NFL, 8 of them at the collegiate level, including being an offensive coordinator at the D2 level, playing at an HBCU. So he knows the trials and tribulations, the hardship that comes with coaching at an HBCU and acquiring talent at an HBCU and doing things at an HBCU. So he's not unfamiliar with the landscape. You think I'm pretty sure he played at Bowie State. The offensive line coach coming from the NFL, coaching offensive line with the Philadelphia Eagles, with the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of Andy Reid flair in this Desean Jackson coaching staff, because obviously Andy Reid is his mentor. He is the coach that Desean as a coach is aspiring to be Andy Reid, right? Like he's aspiring to have the success that Andy Reid has had. And Andy Reid is arguably the greatest coach of all time. You know, multiple Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowl appearances, 2 different organizations. Like Andy Reid is that dude. Patrick Mahomes, Donovan McNabb, T.O., Desean Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, Travis Kelce, the list goes on and on and on about what Andy Reid has been able to do. And Desean has made no mistake about referencing Andy Reid and a lot of the things when he's talking about coaching. And so adding a guy like Clinton Portis, not just for the knowledge on the football field, but being able to help guide young men off the field, being able to help young men avoid some of the pitfalls that he fell into. Maybe if it's not, it may be, you know, a lot of these guys, it's only a select few to make it to the NFL, right? Like we know that. There's only a select few of guys that make it to the National Football League, even if it's for just 1 year, let alone the years that Clinton and Desean and all these guys that are on the staff played. But at the same time, this thing called life goes on whether you're playing football or not. And someone like Clinton has a lot of life experience through dealing with injuries, right? Being a football player, a high-level football player, but having to come back from an injury. Clinton Portis had major injuries throughout his career as well. And so I think this even more so than just for the football aspect of it, the life aspect and the knowledge that Clinton is going to be able to pass down to these young men at DSU as the running backs coach, I think is massive. I think that means a lot. That's going to help them a lot as far as building team chemistry and overcoming obstacles that they may face this season throughout the year. Because, I mean, who knows what this first year is going to look like? I'm not sure how good DSU is going to be just yet until they find the quarterback. They have not announced a transfer or a high school quarterback that I feel like can really make them a contender in the MEAC. That's not to say that they can't be, but I haven't seen it yet. Now, the transfer portal window is closed for this cycle, but it will open back up after spring ball. I expect them to be very, very aggressive in going out there and acquiring a quarterback. You can have all the great coaches, all the great schemes, all the great everything. If you ain't got the right signal caller, none of that matters. All right. So I expect them to go hit the portal heavy for a quarterback come post spring ball. I'm curious to see what they look like during spring ball, but post spring ball, who's going to be that QB1? Who is going to be that signal caller? Who is going to be the guy that leads the men out there on the battlefield? That's what I'm interested in seeing. But this hire of Clinton Portis, massive gift for Coach Desean Jackson and the Delaware State Hornets. And it was released. Their schedule was released. Let me see if I can pull up their schedule really quick, actually, because they will take on Michael Vick and Norfolk State in November at Delaware State. And that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome to see him line up against November 5th, Saturday, November 5th, November 1st, 2025 at DSU. Michael Vick versus Desean Jackson. Norfolk State versus Delaware State. Man, this is pretty cool. Both of these guys building great staffs. Both of these guys doing what needs to be done to turn around programs that haven't seen success in a while, especially there at DSU. This HBCU football season is going to be one to remember. And shout out to the MEAC for getting it popping when making bold splash hires to try to revitalize programs that just haven't been good for a very, very long time. Clinton Portis is the new running backs coach at Delaware State. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor. hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. And also, you can follow me on X, aka Twitter, at JLightsy7. That is on Twitter, aka X, at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.